Hello everyone, this video is about Caris' quick guide and her skill showcase. Hope you enjoy! First off, Caris' trait, Light Oracle. Applicable to all stars, when an ally within a certain range of Caris casts a non-instant skill, she gains 1 stack of Revelation. This can be triggered up to 5 times per round. At the start of the turn, if she has 9 or more stacks of Revelation, she consumes 9 stacks and gains Light Oracle. At 1 star, Caris' trait affects a range of 4 tiles. At 2 stars, she gains additional 5% magical attack. At 3 star, she gains additional 5% magical attack and her traits range plus 1 tile. At 4 star, she gains additional 5% magical attack, and at the start of the battle, she gains 6 stacks of Revelation. At 5 star, at the start of the battle, she gains 2 more stacks of Revelation. End of the turn, she gains 3 stacks of Revelation, and she gains 1 NRG when she gains Light Oracle. Light Oracle is a buff that conducts skill switch for some of Caris' exclusive skills. As for her non-exclusive skills, it increases the maximum range by 2 tiles and reduces the NRG consumed by 1. This buff will be removed at the end of the action if a skill is cast. For shard farming priority, Caris gains better benefits at higher star level, so she would require investment in her shard farming. For Caris' initial skill Arcane Toxins, it can inflict 3 random level 2 attribute debuffs. Good in certain situations if enemies are required to be debuffed. This skill comes in handy before reaching the relevant ranks upgrades to obtain her AoE skills. Although it has a pretty animation, most likely you won't be using this skill for her builds unless fighting single target enemies. For her rank 1 skills, on the left we have Light of Sanctuary, on the right we have Life Devour. Caris can utilize Light of Sanctuary for damage 2 buffs if no one in the party is able to provide. The 2 buffs counts towards the requirement of her leader's aura of needing 4 buffs. Life Devour is Caris' highest damage single target magical attack skill. Unless you are fighting single targets, more than likely you won't be using it as Caris is known for her AoE skills. For rank 1 skills is up to player's preference. For Caris' rank 3 skills, on the left we have Broad Radiance, on the right we have Total Punishment. Both skills are useful skills for Caris, however you will most likely be using the right skill Total Punishment as it deals piercing AoE damage with a 2-turn cooldown. Broad Radiance can be useful in mitigating magical attacks through its shield. Bound immunity buff that it gives can be used to prevent Caris having to skip a turn after using Purge of Sin. However, this comes with a long cooldown of 4 turns. If needed, you can use a Castelia on Broad Radiance to allow Caris to have a flexible build. My personal preference is the right skill Total Punishment. Caris' signature exclusive skills are subject to change under the influence of the Light Oracle buff. Here you can see the skill switch of the left skill Broad Radiance. On the left you have Broad Radiance, and the skill switch will be Light Oracle Broad Radiance. This is a showcase of the right skill Total Punishment with the skill switch, Light Oracle Total Punishment. For Caris' rank 5 skills, on the left we have Protection of Darkness, on the right we have NRG Recovery. Protection of Darkness is conditional, requires 3 debuffs on the enemy in order for the damage taken to be decreased up to 30%. This can be redundant if enemies are immune to debuffs or able to cleanse their debuffs every turn. In the event Caris gets attacked, NRG Recovery can help with Caris' 4 NRG skill Purge of Sin with a cooldown of 2 turns. Both reaction skills are situational useful skills in their own way. For rank 5 skills is up to player preference. For Caris' rank 7 skills, on the left we have Radiance Guidance, on the right we have Purge of Sins. I would suggest that both skills are required for her builds. Radiance Guidance is the best leader's aura for Papal States faction. It increases piercing damage dealt as well. Purge of Sin, on the other hand, is a huge AoE skill that deals more damage against large target enemies, but it requires one turn preparation and skips the turn. Skip the turn debuff can be prevented by using Broad Radiance skill that grants bound immunity buff. With the right setup, Purge of Sin can be very helpful in fights. My personal preference will be right the Purge of Sins and using a Castelia on left Radiance Guardians. This is the showcase of the right skill Purge of Sin with its skill switch Oracle Purge of Sins. For Caris rank 9 skills, on the left we have Charged Attack, on the right we have Punish the Evil. Punish the Evil is Caris' exclusive basic attack skill that deals piercing damage and gives 2 stacks of Revelation that helps with her gaining Light Oracle buff. Charged Attack can be useful in buffing the next skill damage, but Punish the Evil is Caris' only way to gain Revelations by herself. It is possible to play Caris using only single target attacks, using Charged Attack to buff it, but it depends if you are willing to forego her AoE specialty. My personal preference will be the right, Punish the Evil. This is a skill showcase of Punish the Evil with its skill switch Light Oracle Punish the Evil. For Caris rank 11 skills, on the left we have the Protected, a passive, on the right we have Crystal Implosion. Crystal Implosion is the only skill that can inflict AoE magical defense 3 down. While the Protected passive can be seen useful, there are 2 conditions required to be met before gaining the bonus attack and defense. Increasing attack and defense can be done through buffs by healers or other units. If you are playing a magical team, Crystal Implosion with its minus 60% magical defense debuff will benefit the team more. My personal preference will be the right Crystal Implosion. This is the skill summary for Caris. My personal preference will have Caris unit icon. For rank 1 and rank 5, it is up to player's preference, and rank 3 and rank 7 you can use a Castelia for the either skills. For Caris build and skill loadouts, on the first one we have a general use of Caris that comes with magical defense 3 debuffing capabilities. This enables better magical damage from her teammates. The second is another general use of Caris but with magical shield capabilities while able to deal piercing damage. For the third skill loadout, with the right team setup, this build is able to deal the highest AoE magical damage with magical defense 3 debuff. This can be useful for speedruns or nuking enemies in one hit. For the last skill loadout, it is when you're expecting Caris to perform large AoE attacks with Purge of Sin every other turns with the help of NRG battery units and Flag of Convallaria tactics. Now for Caris equipment, her magical weapons. The top choice of weapon for Caris will be the Diffusing Prism. This increases magical attack, magical damage, and piercing damage. All of her skills benefits from this weapon. The next possible weapon for Caris will be the Resentment Broom, as it increases AoE damage, and the bonus will be the chance of inflicting life loss debuff. If you do not have the above 2 weapons, Starry Sky Heritage is an acceptable weapon for general use as it boosts magical attacks. Next, for the possible trinkets depending on situation. The first one we have Origin Hourglass. This is a general use of trinket that provides magical attack with the bonus of immunity against move and speed debuffs. The second will be a single target piercing damage trinket Flying Blade Armguard. This benefits from Caris' leader's aura that increases piercing damage by 12%. For the third trinket, it will be Roaring Flint. I would consider this the rarer alternative of Flying Blade Armguard, but it deals AoE piercing damage. For Caris Engravings and a possible resonance. The first one will be Sword and Wand. This is a top choice of engraving for Caris as it increased magic attack affects her skill damage, including piercing damage. For Sword plus Cup, this is a general use of engraving that provides minor damage and lifesteal. However, the increase in damage does not affect her piercing skills damage. The stats that you are looking for in engraving will be magical attack. Lastly, for the possible tarots, the first one and the top choice will be the Magician. This is the top choice tarot for when you're using Purge of Skin skills. For the second, Temptation of the Devil tarot. This is another top choice tarot for when you're using either Purge of Sin or Total Punishment as magical attack effects her piercing damage. The stats that you're looking for in tarots will be magical attacks. This is it for Caris' quick guide. Thanks for watching.